Hey, how's it going? Mr. Deadman of the Deadman Horror Show. No mask this time, no mask needed. I like to do two things primarily on this channel. First, I like to talk about YouTube drama and other YouTubers. Second, is I like to talk about horror and horror movies. Well, I get to do both here. I'm going to be reacting to the Quarterings video on how Candyman 2021 is essentially going to be woke garbage because it talks about gentrification. What? And don't get me wrong here. I understand that sometimes with movies and film and comics, TV shows, sometimes things are changed, like characters are changed out, or race swapped, or gender swapped in ways that seem to be pandering and all that. And there might be themes that like, okay, that seems a little very strong-handed there. Okay, but Candyman. To be outraged that Candyman's going to have political commentary in it is rather dumb and really showing that the Quartering doesn't know what the hell he's talking about here. Really doesn't. Which he tries to claim that he's an avid horror fan in the beginning of this video, but press X to doubt on that, because if he was, then he wouldn't be surprised, one, that a horror film would have some diversity. I mean, horror films even from the 70s had diversity, had black characters in there, here and there, or The Thing, or Night of the Living Dead. It happens. Let's say Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead had political messaging in it as well. You can even say Night of the Living Dead had political messaging in that as well. I mean, it is pretty common for horror movies to have, even in the 90s, to have like your token black guy, maybe your token black guy, token gay guy, and they would have diversity. They would. So, but he's surprised by that. He's surprised by the diverse cast. Oh, okay. Oh, I won't pay for that. He's also surprised that the Candyman remake, or soft reboot, or sequel, whatever it is, he's surprised that it would have themes about gentrification and thinks that's a little too heavy-handed. What? Has he seen the original? Clearly he hasn't. Even in the original, the Cabrini Green project housing were projects. It was essentially a ghetto, okay? And that's where Candyman, would stalk, apparently. If you said his name 5 times in a mirror, he would come get you. The Candyman would. He would striking fear in the residents of Cabrini Green. Now, what is Cabrini Green? Like I said, it's a project, but it's much more than that. In the movie, Helen, our main character, our white female academic who's working on a thesis on the Candyman urban legend, and about how residents of Cabrini Green, mostly black, use it as a way to cope with their poverty and a situation caused by, you can say, by their blackness, if you will, if you want to put it in that sort of term. Sounds pretty woke, right? Sounds pretty heavy with political messaging. And we're talking about the original Candyman. We're not even talking about the 2021 version, okay? Okay. So, yeah, even the original was pretty heavy-handed, I guess you could say. But it was a good movie. It's a great movie. And it's fitting for it. You have, you have a story, a movie about who is Candyman. He's the son of a slave who grew up to become an artist. An artist would make portraits for wealthy whites, but when he got in a relationship with a white woman and impregnated her, and they had a baby, they lynched him, had him tortured. I mean, there's a reason why bees are around him. It's not because he likes bees and likes to play with bees. Okay. No, some very evil, racist things were done to him in a very horrifying way, which is why he is what he is. Now, why does he haunt like the black community in a ghetto? I could see how that could be kind of like, well, shouldn't be haunting like wealthy whites. He should be, and maybe that's what's going to happen in the new one, the 2021. There's also an interesting thing about, you could say, gentrification and segregation, and even the original Candyman. So the Cabrini Green housing project See, in Helen's apartment, Helen's condo that she lives in, that was also supposed to be part of the housing project. That's why it looks the same way, the same design. But because it was going to be too close to Chicago's Golden Coast, they couldn't have that. The unsavory black community would be too close to the coast. We don't want that. We don't want those hood rats over there. So they changed it. You could say that's gentrification and segregation. It's just being woven into a movie, being woven into a story. So yes, the original Candyman was, I guess, pretty woke for its time. I mean, I have to say, it's kind of silly that the quartering would do this, but it's not surprising. You see, when you create a platform that's pretty much dedicated on outrage, I mean, every video is about how, oh, this is woke, that's woke, oh, this is epic, oh my God, controversy here, oh my God. What you're doing is your audience is just expecting more and more outrage. You're feeding them things to be outraged about, being triggered about, ironically. Being triggered. They are triggered when stuff happens that they don't like. I mean, I've said this before. Like, some of the things that people get triggered about, it's like, okay, like, I understand that you don't like the direction that this TV show is going or what they're doing with the comic. I get that. But is it like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, like, for example, let's say Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, it's upsetting what they're doing with Faye Valentine. It's upsetting how they changed her. I'd first off, an anime live action, why? Don't do those things. I'm not convinced that there are any good ones. Then again, I haven't really watched a whole lot of them. But at live action Cowboy Bebop, no one asked for that. If they're going to do that, do it right. And I'm not convinced, even from the way the characters look, not just Faye, but Spike and Jet, I'm not convinced that it looks right. They even got rid of Radical Edward. Why? So that doesn't make any sense. But all right, let's talk about the outrage with Faye Valentine. Faye Valentine's design. Yeah. I can see the outrage there. If you're gonna, because Faye Valentine, that character, if you know anything about her, she used her sexual, she used her sexuality and her appearance as a weapon. Okay, a woman that used her sexuality and appearance as a weapon to get over on men and women that would be susceptible to that. Okay. So if you change her to where she no longer really has that appearance, no really flaunts it all over the place, the curves and skin and all, it does kind of change the dynamic of her character. Okay. Now, of course, when I say, yeah, I don't like what they're doing there, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to create videos being outraged about it, be like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, whatever. It's going to be another fucking Netflix fail. Whatever. There's another Netflix fail. What I'm saying here is that when you make video after video of just overreacting to small things, and like, here's an example of something small, something that's like kind of obvious, kind of expected for Candyman 2021 to be woke in his mind. It's like you're doing that because, well, I think his audience wants it. He's giving his audience what they want, which is something to be outraged by, even if it's nothing, even if it's crap. And we'll go watch his video, okay? But it's boring. It's really boring. If you want to watch a video or some guy just literally reading an article for first take, like he's reading it and he's struggling to read it because it's the first time going through it, and he's like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm reading here. That's the quartering. Here we go. Let's play this. This is when he starts reading the article, really getting into, I guess, the video.
Bad Batch, Revenge, The Cured. Have you even heard of any of these? No. Heredity was not good, but actually, it was okay. Okay.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit to when he actually starts talking about Candyman.
Rift. Had a guy like Jordan in media applauded it and said it was so stunning and brave to be racist, and that's cool. Jordan Peele can do that because that's.
All right, we'll stop right here. let me back up a little bit because I don't want you to think of taking the quartering out of context. I'll back up and have him say what he's going to say.
And everybody in media applauded, said, you know, I don't want to hire any white people kind of thing.
Okay, he's talking about the Jordan Peele not wanting to hire any white people, and about how that could be racist or whatever. Is it wrong for him to say that? Like, he doesn't want to hire any white people? I mean, he could do that. I mean, legally, you can't discriminate based on race. I don't know how he gets around that legally. There's already laws to prevent that, but there's other ways to do it. You know, he'd probably do it in ways. Probably be like, oh, I don't want to hire you because, you know, you're not that good. Okay, I didn't like the performance, and really, it's about race. It could be that. I do kind of find that to be racist. But it's like that's something that, you know, I'm not really appalled by that. I'm not disgusted by that. We're talking about Hollywood. Hollywood hires people because of how many people got a gig through Weinstein, not because they're a good actress or because they were really good at sucking him. Okay, so yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too upset about that. I mean, how many directors have hired somebody because they know them or because they are a friend? Okay, they know the perfect actor for the job. They work for them many, many times. Pay attention to directors that constantly have the same actors and actresses in their films. Why is that? Is it because they're really good, or is it because they work together well? I mean, they could get anybody else, maybe. I'm not worried about that.
And everybody in media applauded it and said it was so stunning and brave to be racist. And that's cool. You know, Jordan Peele can do that because that's what is acceptable, in fact, lauded in modern day. I understand the narrative about, you know, not getting a lot of opportunities, and Jordan Peele is welcome to hire whomever he wishes for his film. I just don't think the way to overcome, you know, racism is with more of it. I'm just a simple Midwest.
But yeah, but we're talking about Hollywood. They don't really hire based on skill necessarily. I'm not convinced that they do. You get a bunch of people to try out for a part, and who do they pick? They might pick someone that knows somebody. They might pick someone who blows well. They might, who you blow. I mean, it's the thing. Okay.
Midwestern guy, I don't really have to deal with the things that probably Jordan Peele had to deal with growing up. But now Candyman. Now, if you look at the original Candyman, there were some kind of tropes about gentrification, hints.
Some kind. Hints. It's all over the place. It's in the movie. Candyman himself is literally a product of racism and lynching. What are you talking about?
Of it, but I was
the stomping grounds for Candyman is the outcome of segregation. I guess modern day redlining segregation.
I was in general kind of interested in seeing this movie. One, because I love horror and I watch almost every mainstream horror film that comes out, even no matter how bad it is. And two, because the director is Nia DaCosta, and she is the upcoming director for the new Captain Marvel movie, and I wanted to see just if this person was worthy of the role they received.
So there was a jump cut there. I wonder what he was saying.
Now we got Candyman gets an update, and the horror is gentrification. Whoa.
I will say this: that title for that headline is kind of bullshit. But the reason why that's that. Look, that headline, that's going to appeal to those that will that's what they want to see. Like, it's going to appeal to those on Twitter that get all about obsessed with the problems of gentrification. Like, that's what they want. The social justice warrior types, that's what that article is appealing to. Okay? But with that said, it's expected that the new Candyman is going to have gentrification as part of its story element, okay? The backdrop for the characters, the backdrop for the plot. Gentrification is going to play a role. You know, it's going to be a strong thing there. Expect police brutality. What other surprises would you be shocked to find out? Oh, there's going to be a gay black guy. There might be even a trans black guy or black woman. I don't know what it would be at that point. there's going to be elements that are more modern day, more politically and socially applicable for modern day. Expect to see some protests of peace that we saw during the summer. Okay, expect to see that. I mean, don't be surprised by that. That's going to be the backdrop. Those could be elements in the movie.
Oh, I can't wait to pay $15 to go to a cinema and watch this.
I kind of see how it looks to really simplify an issue and just not understand the nuance of it. Then again, I mean, that headline is kind of garbage, but okay.
Who can take a sunrise and sprinkle it with dread? All seems well in the initial moments of Candyman, the modern-day remake of the 92 horror classic, which opens with the sweet sounds of Sammy Davis Jr.'s classic, The Candyman. But then the song and film itself slowly become a spooky nightmare. We love doing stuff like that. The producer and Candyman co-writer, when
This is what I'm talking about. He just reads articles, and it sounds like he's reading it for his first time.
Rosenfeld told the Post, twisting an otherwise innocent pop song that has become a signature of this production company.
A signature, see, he's reading it for his first time.
Monkey Paw, which he runs with Jordan Peele. The team did the same kind of creepy mix of Lanez's I Got Five on It in the trailer for the company's breakout hit, Get Out. The team's new Candyman is decidedly a contemporary tale, referred to by filmmakers as a spiritual sequel to the original.
And I can see that as a sequel. Being that the Cabrini Hill housing is going to be part of it. Except it's not the housing. It's now changed. It's been gentrified. So there you go. See, gentrification is going to be part of it. Just like how the projects was part of the original. Projects and redlining and in a way gentrification being the nice condo that Helen was living in anyway. That's so expected.
Actor Tony Todd returns to play Candyman himself, which I think is actually really cool. And that was one of the coolest parts about it, because I mean that film's.
I doubt that the quartering knew who Tony Todd was. Was like, oh, let me Google this guy. Let me see who this guy is, and let me go ahead and make sure that I know he's good. Okay.
30 years old, and he's still coming back. It features a diverse cast. Oh, thank God, including black leads and
Let's stop right here. Diverse cast. Like I said in the beginning of this, horror's actually been pretty good with diversity. I know there's that trope that the black guy always dies first. That's not always true. But, yeah, it happens. Okay. But there's movies where the black guy is actually essential to the film, like The Thing. Okay? Let's see. Diverse cast. I remember 90s horror movies are coming to mind right now, where they have the token black guy, the token gay guy. He might be gay, maybe not gay. You know, there's that. It's so much of a trope that even Scary Movie made fun of it. So him rolling his eyes, reacting to diversity in a horror movie, I'm not surprised by diversity in a horror movie. It's expected. But I am kind of surprised that the quartering would do that. But then also not, because I think he's lying here. I don't think he's a horror fan at all. I don't think he's... I think he's disingenuous.
A gay couple, wow, take my money, and deals with the issues of class and gentrification in a real-life neighborhood.
I mean, wasn't the movie The Craft about a bunch of emo lesbians? Come on now, come on.
Of Chicago's Cabrini Green. Wow, I literally can't wait. After the most recent film of the franchise, 99's Candyman Day of the Dead, God, that was bad, bombed at the box office, holds a 10% fresh rating at Rotten Tomatoes, Peele resurrected the series, backed by his proven horror track record, including box office success, Get Out, and Us. I don't call that a...
Well, Us wasn't that good. And what he did with the Twilight Zone, not so good either. But they like Jordan. They like him. And I don't see... maybe I'm wrong here. We'll find out. I mean, I'll go watch the movie pretty soon, but I don't know how he could mess this one up. It is right up his alley. It already has a racial message in it. Okay. Go play with that. It sounds like something you can have fun with. Go do it. He said, I mean, this seems like a movie. Candyman seems like a movie that Jordan Peele could totally do. If he botches this, I don't know. Then he's done. But I don't see how he's going to botch it. Even if it was a bad movie, the media is going to be like, oh, this is a movie you got to see, whatever. And, okay, it might linger that way. But I haven't seen it yet. I'll go watch it soon and see. But let's see what else the quartering says.
Proven horror record. Throw in what he did to the Twilight Zone record. We like to play with stories that are mythical and magical, but grounded in a way, or in a grounded way, said Rosenfield, noting that the themes in Candyman were ripe.
See, this is what I'm talking about. He hasn't even read this article. I don't understand how people are. Dude, the quartering has, let's see, 1 million subscribers? 1 million subscribers for videos where he reads articles. First take, reading articles and be outraged by it when they're things that kind of expected. Like, this is expected. There's nothing really outrageous about this other than calling us a success, a box office success. What? It's kind of typical and expected.
For him and Peele to mine. With the 92 original, was loosely based around the idea of gentrification, if you stretched, sure.
No, you don't even have to stretch, quartering. What the hell are you talking about? The background of the movie, literally the location where everything's taking place, is a product of gentrification and segregation, or redlining, if you will. Unless you totally have not watched the movie, didn't pay any attention to Helen's character and what she finds out about her own condo. Oh, it's there. But if you stretch, really, it wasn't political. Candyman wasn't political. That's bullshit. Candyman was political from the beginning, from the get-go. What the fuck? The quartering's an idiot.
The Cabrini Green area, Chicago's most notorious projects, since torn down, the new version, directed by New York City native Nia DaCosta, intimately explores the idea of the transformation of a Chicago neighborhood through the eyes of its conflicted main character, Anthony McCoy, a visual artist who was formerly...
Okay, yeah, see? They tore down the projects and built a nice housing, okay, for its neighborhood. I don't know if it's nice housing, but it's a neighborhood, Chicago neighborhood. Probably mostly black, and we'll see. Or maybe it's white. We'll see.
A resident of the projects. McCoy played the Emmy Award-winning Watchmen breakout star. Yahya Abdul Mateen II is a conflicted soul, now living in a swank loft built where the Cabrini Green projects once stood.
See, man, I hate how he's just reading these articles. It's like, I wish, like, a better way to do it would read the article ahead of time, kind of know what the highlights are, and tell you the highlights. Like, I'm surprised this guy has 1 million fucking subscribers, the way he does his videos. I know I've tried them in the past too. You can probably see some old videos where I've done the same thing. You know why I didn't stick with it? Because it gets boring for me, it gets tiresome for me, and I start thinking, why the fuck would anybody watch this? It's literally just me reading a fucking article. Why? Go read the fucking article yourself. I don't understand what the appeal here is. Whatever.
But he haplessly summons Candyman while mining for artistic inspiration. I mean, okay. I think most movies oversimplify the idea of gentrification, Cooper said, who grew up in Soho and Red Hook told the Post. Adding layers to the complexity of the popularity of the social...
I like how he had no comments about the Soho and Red Hook. Okay.
Social justice movement in the last 2 years, a prescient topic at the film was originally set to be released in what would have been the midst of the peaceful protest last summer.
Yes. Okay, that's not surprising at all. That the new Candyman, the 2021 Candyman, would take place around the George Floyd protests. Okay. That's kind of expected, actually. The original Candyman took place around the time of, I believe, what was that? The Rodney King protests. Around that time. At least, that's about the time when the movie was released. About months after that. So coming off of those protests, I wouldn't be surprised that very much so that the movie took place around that time and had a lot of... Dude, Candyman was very woke for its time. Very woke for its time. And to say otherwise, you have to be a fucking liar. And I'm not an idiot. I'm not buying your freaking lie. Okay? Anyway, let me go ahead and wrap this video up here because I don't know if I can listen to more of the quartering. Just reading an article that I could read myself. But like I said, there's two things I like to do a lot on this channel. That is, make fun of other YouTubers and talk about horror. So here I get to do both. It's great. The baby metal stuff, the third thing I like to do, I've been doing that on another channel now called Rant and Chill. That one's doing pretty well. Okay. But let me know what you think about this. Am I wrong? Is Candyman 2021 super woke? More woker than the original Candyman? Or is it kind of on par for Candyman? Kind of expected. Okay? Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys, ladies, take it easy and have a good one.